Beautiful day. Una adu una kushe. Una welcome to this program today. Another edition. Entertainment and politics. Today, I get big Alejo them today where they come talk to we in this program today. Yeah, we'll get a lot of things and we can discuss about things that will happen a week ago. Sierra Leone. So please, now welcome on board. If not the first in this, you follow this program or join this program. I want to say thank you very much, and I want to assure you, say today, one day, you will learn so many things. Things the way they happen now we country, or things the way they happen now we country. Mina Egatin Shaba, and please do not continue for follow this platform, Egatin Shaba and Rachel Bangua Davis. Welcome once again, una welcome, and please una share this live. Una share this live. Welcome, Rachel Bangua Davis.
Family, una welcome on board the Egatin Shaba platform. As always, Mr. Freyaso for make we all go more and things that really happen in a Salone. So if you're not the first time this way they're joining again, as Egatin Shaba say, welcome to this platform. And una way they always follow we, una welcome again and plenty thank you. So we share the videos, because most of the things that we can talk about now. So it's not just about Salone, but it's for our Salone for go before. So una share the video and una keep the comment section going as always, where una can do with the discussion where can take place now. So una like the video, una share, una love, and we get plenty things that we can talk about. So now so today. So welcome again. My name is Rachel Bangua Davis.
Okay, let's bring in the man himself, when I'm your brother from another mother, Mr. Ajibu Jallo. Ajibu, welcome to this program again.
Thank you, Egerton Shaba and Miss Rachel Shaba Davis Bangura. Thank you very much for having me.
You're so relaxed. What's going on?
I know.
Well, life is what you make it.
So, life no yagba
at all.
I like that. Okay, let's bring in another brother. When a big man has the game. What I mean the game, like when it comes to politics, a man we know so many things them about Sierra Leone. We me particular at the land from this man, Mr. Mohammed Jamburia. Welcome to this program, Mr. Jamburia.
Thank you very much, sir, for having me on board, and thank you to Rachel.
But you don't say you're like by.
Well, na say, me not just an ordinary idiot. But now we get idiots so they confuse with country. And we get to tell them how idiotic they are.
I refuse that one day.
No, I accept it. Everybody can be an idiot. But you are as you think. If you don't change what you think, you'll continue to be an idiot. And that's exactly the situation we have in Sierra Leone. People are refusing to change because them get that superiority complex. That must change from now on.
Thank you, Mr.
We have to respect each other, and especially our women folk.
I'll come back to you. I'll get another brother we say for the second time this way they join this program. Sulaman, all the way from Australia. Welcome, Sulaman.
Yeah, well, hi, Shaban, everybody.
Sorry
thank you very much.
I know say guys in a minute now Australia.
I know, let's see what I do. Try to get used to see the world very different. It's almost getting to 5:30 in the morning.
Ooh. Right. Oh, once again, welcome to this program. And the second time this way you can this program, and I do appreciate you where you honor me invitation.
Yeah.
Now, guys, 1 week ago we see what's happening in our country. The APC saga. We after the conference where they do na Makeni, we see where we get a video where the Secretary General, new elected Secretary General of the All People Congress, with the beat then beats in driver. You know, we'll get them videos and they want for can play for Mikuna self. Let we discuss about what's happened last week. Let we start from what's happened last week in our country when APC then come out McKinney where they enter South Africa.
They beat me up. They said Madam Bio has told them to beat me up, irrespective of the fact that I am the National Secretary General of the APC party that was elected 2 days ago. They said they don't care. They beat me up. They spread that pepper spray on my eye and face, and they gave me serious beating. And they molested me seriously. They said they were sent by His Excellency the President, Julius Madabio, to beat me up because I asked them and I told them to take me to the President. If that is what he said, they said they don't care. They're going to do what the instruction is. So I want the international community to know what Madabio and his government and his security forces are doing to the people of this country and are doing to the opposition. And I want the international community to know that the APC party will not relent. We will do what is right for the people of this country, but we will not be intimidated. We will not allow ourselves to be coward. And if the international community refuses to intervene in this kind of thing, it is going to be a catastrophe. We are not afraid, and I want to let them know that I'm not afraid. I am not afraid. They beat me up seriously. They beat me up seriously.
Mr. Jamboya, not
Yes,
to
sir.
post in this way, presidential gas then the threaten Salonians then, the beat Salonians then. Why presidential gas then? Therefore, kind of treats, mount checkpoints, the check. I don't know security reasons anyway. Why presidential gas therefore kind of treats the check Mutkale one by one, then pull Lawyer Lansana inside Mutka and the driver, then beat her mercilessly. And the SL people then go on TV, they send a lie, demand the lie.
Well, that was why I started with the word idiot. I did it on purpose. The Presidential Guard has no business in state security. They get business with guiding the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. They can only react when they feel threatened. For them to make checkpoints and molest people in the street is idiotic. Honestly, let's begin call things by their names. If they go against normal protocols, if they go against human rights protocols, if they go against everything we sane people them for do. So if this is not denied, because then they only say, now lie the man, they lie. But the man has accused the Presidential Guard. Has there been any official statement denying that the Presidential Guard were not there? Has there been any official statement? Have we not seen evidences of them doing it at the time it was recorded? Did they deny that those people in military uniform were not members of the Presidential Guard? They did it once at Pademba Road and went scot-free. So they're not learn from the idiocy where they perpetrate in Sierra Leone. And the Sierra Leonean people therefore begin make a known to them say, this country belongs to every citizen, not to a few people who think they can do as they like. Doing as you like in a nation is idiotic. They cannot deny the fact, but instead they continue for expand on the fact, and no one jump the gun. But the fact of what Lawrence Lahai do at that interview,
no, we can't,
he simply don't say, yes, what Mr. Lansana Doumbouya they say, not true. The psychology of a member of government going on national TV or international TV for intimidate the opponent. When Tunis don't show say what in Mr. Doumbouya, the secretary who was assaulted, say is true. These guys don't think.
I love it. Ajibu,
yeah, let me get you take. because you don't need a governance.
Well, we can only go by waiting the man say. We Secretary General, and of course, the Secretary General now a lawyer, now somebody of fundamental uprightness. People them when a lawyer we don't serve as long as he don't serve in the capacity, suppose forget some integrity to them. But not only on the manual integrity, but we get several other people that we suffer the same thing. One such now, Madam Jennifer Kago, will be the run for the position of deputy chairman of the party. And a few other people, we in fact will get one gentleman with them, take him motoka, take to today and not get him motoka. So the fact that you left the president in gate, you can at the main road, can't install a barrier where normally no DD. Now a clear indication say when I get ill motives. Because really and truly, that junction where they talk so, just before NatCom, there's a speed bump when they got erect there. Out of nowhere, they got erect one babala speed bump where in fact they don't notice nobody. People die there, then they get for cut and down back. And then just across from there, just behind the there you get the president in first gate where they call Charlie 1. So, and that Charlie 1 day is manned by OSDs and military. What you make the Branca the main thoroughfare, one can never understand. Usai will get roadblock there at that place there. We get roadblock in the Regents, where you just before you go to the Regent Grafton Road, we get roadblock there, right by the police station. We get roadblock by American Embassy. We get roadblock by Old School. Then after that now, you not get roadblock again, take pass you come now St. Mary's supermarket. What you wanna can put that roadblock there if you not get ill motive for Hamburg people there. So really and truly, I feel to say they squash the democratic space.
Salone,
like to Suleiman, because me I think that this is really diabolic. Not really fostered this way with presidential guards them. They do this kind of intimidation to Saloneans there. Well, I'll play this video back from the mayor, what's it up with the mayor on the same night.
Seized by the presidential guard. I'm deeply disturbed by this, and we'll be taking, the necessary steps to retrieve my laptop. I hope that, I won't need to do anything more, and the presidential guard themselves will just give me back my laptop. They have absolutely no right to seize my laptop. Even if my driver had committed some kind of traffic offense, which I'm made to understand he hasn't, he's been released. What has my laptop got to do with him going through a checkpoint? Why is the mayor's laptop now in the possession of the presidential guard? I'm concerned. I'm concerned. We're just talking about multi-party democracy. These are the sorts of actions which really throw into question freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of movement that we're experiencing in this country at the moment. Thank you.
This is sad, Suleiman. This is sad. It really, really sad. That's the honest truth.
It's very, very, very sad. It's like for the 22 years I've been in Australia and continue to see this kind of thing happen inside Sierra Leone, it's so disappointing. For me, the way I can look at things, it's not about the politics where they play inside it, but the international image of a country where they don't portray out to the international world. A country where you go all along the beach, all along the spots, say, then you see everybody see why it's inside Salone by NGO and walking walk. This is a place where they don't make very unattractive to the rest of the world. I mean, in the government of President Koroma, we had less than 5 people died in police brutality or whatever. In just this particular 4 to 5 years of Julius Malabio, we've actually observed that over 215 people don't die on different circumstances in that country, and they are still joking with themselves. I mean, it is very, very bad. You can see pattern. I mean, since this 4 years in Sierra Leone, if we say with the name examples, the way they don't brutalize, all go through police brutality, is turned into dozens and dozens. So, I mean, no sane person can deny this. But there's just something that worries me about the typical Sierra Leone.
Go on.
When he gets into government, he becomes very stupid, just like I agree to it Mr. Jamori and the Treath talk. I don't understand why I make Sierra Leone people really make a name for themselves, become very, very rational, stand for which you believe and how they call themselves. These kind of things are things we know for happen in Sierra Leone. In the country today, in 2023, they still get roadblocks all across the country. How do you expect people to look that country? They see an attractive place for actually carrying
Yeah.
It's just unimaginable. It's just like a country really in war. This is the kind of image, people are so.
I just want to ask if we still in war.
And this is what I'm saying. I mean, for people who, this country is so full of dumb people. That's the problem with Sierra Leone. People don't rationalize. They didn't even read. They didn't understand how this they affect the socio-economic development. They affect tourism. They affect even me. Self, they look at Sierra Leone and all bloody go inside that particular country. Beautiful country that is run by shithole people. That is why the only South will disagree with Donald Trump. The way sort of like use the word well, it was very correct. If I say these beautiful countries that are run by people that carry the head of humans, but actually the brain of sheep. It's like this shouldn't happen in Sierra Leone. And it just shows all the hallmark of a totalitarian and autocratic state. See,
yeah. Richard.
Basically, I just want to add smaller more then before we go to another thing about, the intention, when the opposition they come from McKinney. The atmosphere for me with what I've seen a video, because I mean, not only what we seen a video, sometimes we talk about, and I don't think some videos lie, especially videos in real time. So we saw that the people were excited. They were happy for their, the Just Commoner convention. I don't think they were, let me get any security threats, them impose any security threat at that time, looking at the video in real time. They were just jubilating because I think, say, from what I saw, where I see Sierra Leoneans there, though, they are depressed, though the suffering there, though so many the intimidation there, but that calm way, them party calm, it just look like hope. Like like a hope, it brings hope. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's the kind of picture that I saw on that day, basically what I see in real time. And not just, some other people. You see, even the mayor, where you talk about, they have been constantly intimidating women, or not just the mayor, but constantly intimidating strong women. And the mayor has been one of them. I don't know why presidential guard will take the mayor in laptop. I don't know for which reason, and pull out in driver. So it's like it was targeted for certain key people. It's like the arrest or the violence or the beating and stuff like that. It was targeted to specific people on that day, just for disrupt the whole thing. So, it is a sad day for democracy as well. Trying to shrink the political space, trying to shrink the voice of the people as always. And the impression out there, like Suleiman was saying, they feel say sometimes that they do we. The thing where they show, what they reflect at the international market will never attract sober, genuine investor for Kana Salone. It cannot. So sometimes they feel that now the opposition and they do all that, the people of Sierra Leone they suppress, but the picture that is out there internationally is not good for Sierra Leone as a country. And that is that other side where this government, the people look at. All they look at about their own selfish interest and how for demonize the opposition and the people and the voice of the people. So basically, that was just my own perception or analysis on that.
Is there any repercussion if government change?
I don't want to go into that because we expect, say, if there is a change, there should be an allowance for rule of law. I just want to go further with what the previous speakers they don't say, and especially so the points made by Sule and Rachel. You see, even the international community don't they feel uneasy with these guys. Because they are now going not only attacking locals, but then they attack the international community also. So they don't even know they are shooting themselves in the foot. I will lay my life for this. If the SLPP, they manipulate this election, then win them, they are not going to last 5 years. Because there will be a lot of international consequences where they're not going to be able to withstand. Now, I make us say originally, these guys are idiots. And if Julius Matter built him up before me, I talk, so I go tell and say, you're a bloody idiot. You don't even know what you they do. The international world is fed up with us. The only thing they make some of with a pull voice is that when these repercussions get out of hand, now the ordinary man as Sierra Leone, they suffer. Right now, where the forex don't go out of control, now the ordinary man, they suffer. Because they can't afford to live basic life. Number one, the wage where they pay, they're not enough for making them live basic life. Then things just, they go from bad to worse. This is why some of us are still talking. Otherwise, we'll be for shut up, now left there, idiots, and let them see what thing for come out after this. If they think they are the gods of this world, there are bigger powers in this world. And when they offend them, then go see the consequence. Charles Taylor was taken out of the executive mansion as president of Liberia. Laurent Gbagbo was taken out of La Côte d'Ivoire. Adabio is just a small fry. And we should begin to tell him that.
Okay, thank you, guys. I'll make a play this video, the statement where Lawrence Slimas doing
and as a government, we have a responsibility to ensure that the security of this nation is guaranteed.
I want to clarify quickly the area where you mentioned that you'll crush anyone. I want to clarify, are you making that statement as the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, or are you talking on behalf of the SLPP or the government itself?
As a key security stakeholder,
okay.
Anyone who attempts to disrupt the peace and security of this nation, he will be crushed professionally.
Okay, by the security forces.
Definitely.
So is that a directive?
It is a statement coming from a key security stakeholder. That as much as we are charged with the responsibility to ensure that the peace and security of this nation is maintained.
But I will imagine the
they will crush professionally. Ajibu.
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah. You know, I put something on my Facebook page just the other day, I believe yesterday, where I say President Bio is worried. I say coping of his deficits will not work. The hide way they hide your shortcomings, you know, they work, it is show clearly. You see, the game where they play is endemic and is systemic, and they're not even able they're not able to cover themselves. For make somebody where you make a government minister, where in statements na something where you go consider a policy statement. Minister, you know, an extension of the president. When I say you know minister, you carry on the job of the president. The president able for the all side. So that is why he has ministers. That is why minister for good parliament, minister for be approved by parliament, and they allow him for carry the flag of Sierra Leone. So when he talks so, they talk exactly what's in the president they talk.
So that directives from the presidents.
Essentially, that's what that means. If a minister of government see on like a public fora, it talks so, that means for say it is endorsed, it is agreed, the president supports what he say. And what we have seen in Sierra Leone lately now, what's happening now, the process of intimidation, the process of trying to terrify people, for subdue people, for harass people, for dominate people, for torment people, for oppress people, for make them scare people. That will be an unfortunate statement in all accord. Let's go back to March 2007. President, I think the Congo, Kibala, when he enforces them, okay, use word like that, and they say, we will crush you. What they were doing at the time.
But he used the word also professional. So I get confused.
Well, you know, confused we, he confused himself. Okay, because what he will call them by English, we call them Now a state of paradoxical situation. Okay?
Exactly.
That's what it is. A moronic, because you did on both sides of the fence. You know, they tell me, say, you will walk finely. Look where you will fine one. I talk. You know what I mean? That's what that is.
People just don't make it clear for Salone people they will not understand where some of
Exactly.
because I mean, what is Lima trying to say? Professional caution. What's in that professional?
He is a professional in killing people. That's what he's saying.
By English, we call an oxymoronic statement, meaning that
thank you, sir.
You will walk fine one. How possible you walk fine one? You go in word when they wear out of context, in a use word professionally, then for mess with people and intelligence now for say we go do them intentional, we go do them professionally, we go do them with degree of sense. You know, so
Ajibu, quick one. So the people where they kill, the inmates where they kill they kill them professionally.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And this same Lima, they on record for say the presidential guard them. Now then it take them for calm coil things down, and we know so that they go inside there. Next thing we know, they say 15% die, they say 27% die, by the end they say 40% die. Then the vice president of that country, they promise we say there will be a full investigation. 30 days, we know really nothing. People already Panama Road, they broke the law, but they get right to the civil liberty. They get right to their life.
Yeah.
That now I stand for Sierra Leone. I stand for you and me. Forget about the APC, forget about the SLPP, forget about political party. Now stand for Sierra Leone 100%. For say we get country like this, where we get people left, okay, where they in charge of the governance, where they engage in barbaric and senseless beating and killing of people like that. It's totally unacceptable and not correct and not really, we not stand for them. This intimidation and nonsense.
Yeah, like I'll come back to it quick. I'm Solomon. So they kill people. They kill inmates in Pademba professionally. They kill people in Makeni professionally. They kill people in Tombo professionally. They kill people in Augustine professionally. So that's Lima that will tell me.
So you see, the thing that worries me about many Sierra Leone officials, we now actually get a taste of the kind of institutional knowledge where we get in Western democratic countries. This is why you see they can just float around and things they can say things in that country. They get no political or social or economic implication. What he talks to, it was a very, very horrible statement. And when he said that, I just remember in Uncle Sam Hinganoman. And one thing I don't understand, the international world, not to fool people. That they write with history, that they understand, that they colonize with, that they even know with breath, we talk, the way they talk, they know with lies. But they can just sit down and look with. I mean, throughout Abed Tijakaba in time, if they feel say a lot of the lies, the propaganda, where they be used, where they be there in office, I was there. I sat throughout the SLPP of Abed Tijakaba. That's why I know them to my fingertips. I mean, nobody will read history to me that Sierra Leone history. I can write Sierra Leone history throughout that time. I mean, we know that when I do part-time work for we own, I mean, no say they go hit the one fine day. And it was right when Ameti Jakaba was in office, then they arrest Hinganoman. What I don't understand is the international community get a huge stake in Sierra Leone. They spend a lot of money and they may get the largest contingents of UN peacekeeping force for bringing that war day together. It was a big stake. They've spent a lot of money to bring peace to that country day. And you think they are not looking, they are watching us. They know every single thing what they say, they know a lot of things. They are just waiting for the day when something will happen. Person like Lima is just like it's just similar like Hinganoman in behavior. I mean, the way Hinganoman they play in SLPP dirty games, empower the Kabajos, the atrocities that the country by the Kabajos. I mean, if that be lie, why do we still have 70 Kabajos plus the chief priest Rwanda prison in Doha? We inside the court sits inside Sierra Leone in 2000. They prosecute them. More than enough for Fanauna be a chief. Instead again, Instead, they lock out for 5 years. They just released out about 5 years ago, and the one and say, don't forget it's a politics. So it's like these things go continue, these things go repeat in Sierra Leone. I mean, if this SLPP think they are going to get away with these crimes and some of these things we don't do, then they recall just less than 20 years ago what happened with the SLPP of Adetija. But when we feel say we get away with impunity, but right away in our office and they arrest a defense minister, the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, the SLPP, now they arrest the first a big official in office when they're in office. That was a huge disgrace to them. But you know, the typical Salone posse way they say politics is the shame. It's stupid, they're the shame. And then they read, and then they recall, and then they do their own research. They just sit down no more, you know, they can just float. They're not they use the wits around them. This is going to happen again in Sierra Leone. All of these things are going to come. But what do you want me to say? If at all the SLPP, then kick the SLPP out in this election, if now Samora Kamara, they come into office, let you not repeat the same problem, I mean the same thing way President Koroma repeats. President Koroma, President Koroma, when he came in 2007, he was a joker. I mean, in all understanding.
What do you mean, man? He was a joker?
Well, because he came, you know, say there were very bad actors of state that needs to be it need for actually be pick all the bones out of the fish. But he came, he just left everything open. Bad actors, you know, actually look at the Truth and Reconciliation document for understand. You know, certain institutions don't exist in Sierra Leone. Like, for example, 98.1 was described exactly like the Rwanda hate radio station. We create a lot of things. I was in Sierra Leone, it creates a lot of mayhem, it direct bombs them, lies, propaganda, other kind of use words like joint collaborator, crushing, all these kind of words, they associate exactly with the hate radio station in Rwanda. What Paul Kagame do, great leaders like Paul Kagame or Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, you get these leaders the way they try for transforming a nation. They know the bad actors and they know the bad institutions and they know the bad people away. Not for actually ever get chance for come around. Like Marabio and so. If I was a post-war president in Sierra Leone, like it already exists today. For the good of that nation. This is what a strong leadership they do. When you come into a post situation, you look at all the bad actors, you don't entertain them at all. You got to crush them, their elements a day, and create a good landscape. Otherwise, a bad influence to that particular nation. Because he just left everything. He say, oh, when they say truth and reconciliation, and if I just left everything, forgive and forget. No, that is not what he says. There are certain people who don't know forbidden.
President Koroma not to president when you see where he come, if he will carry revenge, like what you see so.
No, I'm not talking about revenge. Not about revenge. Not about revenge. It's all about for national interest. Okay. It's not about revenge. It's about national interest, just like what's happening in Rwanda. So look at Rwanda today. Look at what is happening today. I mean, you see, like I tell you, Shaba, they're very bad actors of state. Particularly where we don't get a 20-year war. Now they're one of the worst atrocities that we will cause that in the whole world. I don't know why people forget this so quickly. You know, I mean, for creating a political landscape for the future of Sierra Leone after 2007, that could have occurred. There are certain people away, not for the exist today. You look at person like Marabio, they create too much comfort for them. I mean, these were some of the people who they tell us are good government, that they possibly for stab this particular constitution where they try for council, also for can defend. Not to them in Starban in 1992, when there was an election all set up after we don't get the first multi-party constitution in 1991, signed, sealed, and delivered by the APC. They say, okay, all parties are for register, SLPP, all register campaign, they go on NPRC can take power. Why did you think they came? It was because of the political undertone of the Shegwema connection, where they actually stir up elements within the military for can take power, because they don't say the SLPP will win the election. These are things continues to repeat itself.
Okay. I still come back to give Mr. Jambori a chance, please.
What Suleiman is saying is the truth, and some of us know far beyond that.
Absolutely. It's like,
but I will refuse to dwell on that because I want Sierra Leone to go to peace. I want to begin talk peace na Sierra Leone. Some of these things.
What you mean? Make we begin talk peace.
What I mean is, in as much as we did look forward to controlling impunity in Sierra Leone, the issue of eliminating certain people, let we take other steps, we go control them. Okay? You see, Sierra Leone missed a second chance after the end of the war. The reason for that being that the very people who take we to war, now they come back and take we to governance after the so-called end of the war.
This is what I'm talking about.
This whole thing about truth and reconciliation, about special court, it was a showcase. They eliminated certain people, but the RUF were still left to walk free. And they are now in power. We know them. Well, but in as much as we try for control them, I'm not going to be party, I'm not going to subscribe to eliminating them. I believe that there are things we can do after this election. If we get the country back, we go put them under check. But as a matured man, I will not say it here. You know, they warn the enemy before the term reach. We'll not they kill them, we'll let them know that. But they will never do it to Sierra Leone again. They will never. As a matter of fact, we are going to set up institutions that will control atrocities and impunity in Sierra Leone. Now that I will say for now, sir. But what Suleiman is saying is true. I'm a victim of all that shamble rubbish we then do from 1997 onwards. I was beaten 6 hours and thrown over the Ogu Bridge and announced dead by FM 98.1. Ali Bangura in particular did that announcement. I have nothing as a grudge against anybody, but I want to see a Sierra Leone that I have dreamt of since I was a boy. And I think this is the time we're going to have that Sierra Leone.
Ajibu, just please hold on quick. Please hold on quick.
I want to say something quick. Then
you know what I'm saying is what at the one. You see, there has been a lot of things happen these 4 years. 216, over 220 people have been killed in that country. If you look at Pademba Road, you factor in all the Tombo, this, that, 91, all the cases that they put together. If you look at the average number, it's over 200 and something people. It's a concern. The human rights abuse to women is a huge concern. Any post-government will come after this. Bofokam play the nice guy again.
We will not, Sule. We will not.
This is the time for bringing.
But we will make it unbiased.
In Sierra Leone, now for kill impunity.
That's what we're going to do.
Get away with things for a very long time. Me, past that we not actually carry inside power. Swear to God, if we carry inside power, I will emulate the likes of Paul Kagame or the likes of Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, because that then show the evidence of these leaders that were very real.
You are right. I do agree with that.
The first world nations. Look at what is happening in Rwanda, better than Ghana today.
So Suleiman, that statement you make, so it come up from you, not on behalf of the APC, right? Not that clear.
I'm not an APC person.
Thank you.
My father was APC. I could give my support to APC, but this is coming from Suleiman, the social activist.
Yeah. So before Ajibu come in, I just want to quickly throw light on waiting the statement where Lima make, what we extend and so. And that was a very devastating, that statement where a lot of people been concerned after that day, including some of us we get the people of Sierra Leone, because they therefore suffer or not, and they suffer. And I feel if this government, the worst don't happen. And I don't know what more to say about this current administration. But I believe if Nabi sober-minded administration, that kind of word the way Lawrence Liman, if we get a sober-minded president, I'm telling you, if we don't come out to the people of Sierra Leone and debunk or retrieve what Lima say, na national TV where the one on one they watch, or by extension we serve the watch now so either by YouTube or something. I mean, this people say we they talk against this government, but every time we see things member of the government, then they say we have not seen any of the the president or the first lady come out and debunk those things. Like where Ajibu say here about the minister, an extension of representing the president. So whatever you say, and Lima categorically say this is a policy statement. It just takes me back to, and I'll be always the same. I say anything you see the police do, it's a signal from the government, and those signals and they embolden these police, the police institution, for carry out what in they do so, because these are signals where they come up from the top. The words of the president, the words of the first lady, these are all signals so they embolden with security apparatus or with security forces for infringe evil and violence in the people of Sierra Leone. These are all incitement statements where all the time they elect for refer to the opposition, say they are the ones inciting. But what in Lima do so now? Incitement. It's a serious incitement, and the president is just sitting there quiet. Another thing I want to just touch small before maybe Aji will come up with something. It's about where Mr. Jallo and Mr. Solomon talk about the TRC and some of the mistakes where former President Nkrumah probably been do or overlook. Let me put it that way, just overlook.
Yeah.
We see countries that we don't go into war. And how they be look at the truth and reconciliation, and what is a bit by bit, because they not left anything out, because a lot of things that when the TLC reports states we are never looked into, and now they repeat again, So I think any government we get for calm, my own suggestion is we have to revisit that TRC report, because we not do justice to the people of Sierra Leone yet. Absolutely. Because the people of Sierra Leone now they suffer 11 years senseless civil war. They suffered, and yet we come up with a book with everything we're looking to. The reason that them tear caused the war, and we not do justice to the people of Sierra Leone. I believe the government from to the APC government have not done justice to the people of Sierra Leone by not looking at that TRC report comprehensively, not to take some and left some. They should look at that TRC report comprehensively and look at where the foundation of this problem, what we face so now, because those are the things we are seeing: incitement, injustice, false allegations, imprison political leaders, and violence. All of these things that they make up inside that TLC, but will bring down the war. We have to, as a country, do the people justice of Sierra Leone, because they suffered. Any government who for can have to look and revisit the TRC report comprehensively.
Okay, Achibu, after that reckless statements the way Lima make on TV, make a play this video with somebody also from the SLPP endorse what Lima say on TV.
Gentle Patrick Mada Kuruma, me na the PRO for SLPP North America region. And they come out to Sierra Leoneans them all over the country for assured and say, are they in strong support of the statements we come out from we national public relations officer, we happen to be the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, that if the APC political party and any other opposition party then decide say they will bring violence and turmoil into the elections in that country, the country go evoke and instruct the police for quash them professionally. The police go do a professional duty for stop any individual where one for can take the peace of Sierra Leoneans. And also, they talk directly to Manuel Mula of the European Union, because according to the understanding,
Manuel Mullah and the European Union, they don't become a negative enhancer to the APC party, and Manuel Mullah and European Union, then they go ahead for go threaten the National Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. And that one they unacceptable and will not tolerate the European Union for interfere into with body politics. So I want to make it categorically clear that any problem we have in Sierra Leone for disturb with fragile peace and with democracy where President Bio don't bring where they enjoy and with national unity and cohesion, European Union headed by Manuel Mullah will be held responsible, and this is going directly to the international community that European Union is not another opposition in Sierra Leone. European Union is a development partner. They are not supposed to meddle with the body politics.
You know, I don't have to watch this video say done.
This guy is a clown. You see what he impunity?
He's not a clown. He's not a clown.
Exactly, Mr. Jambo here. Exactly, not a clown.
He's not a clown.
Exactly, not a clown. I disagree.
He's not a clown. You see, Sule.
Now impunity. So what do you think about
Sule? Please.
Okay, let me allow Ajibu. But I get me on exact socio-psychological position about what they happen soon as Salone now. And we'll get for taken serious. It's a coordinated thing.
Ajibu, please.
Okay, make her quickly endorse within everybody else. This guy will say this guy is a clown. Okay, now a professional clown. But in the professional administrative arrangement of things, not supposed to like this you pay attention to. When a minister don't go na national stage, na public go talk, that we say na a policy statement. This guy na clown. We not for consider this guy. This guy na a freelancer. We sit down in living room. He get telephone. He get internet. He talk any kind to want for talk. So really and truly, you know, we know what to any standard.
But the man say that the PRO of the diaspora branch.
Of course, yes, the PRO. But he's not being paid by our government, so he can say what he wants to. And if na him be talking, okay, then we go challenge the minister. But when
I want to disagree with you small. I can't tell you. I want to disagree with you. So you know why I say me need to say a clown. You know why I have my reason, because we don't see these SLPP. Let me say the ruling party them where they all over social media. Once they begin for pour out some things out there to the minds of the police, to the minds of the security apparatus. We dey see them in action. I remember when LJ, when they be all LJ, now this same social media, the SLPP people, then the one that wear the SLPP vuvuzela there. Now they begin say, but then for cutting here, then for make so, and later on, what do we see? We see Suvula say yes, and SOP, then cutting here. So some of these things. It's just a sad thing that we get an administration when a social media, then they look for it and do what they for do. When a social media, then they get the inspiration from and do it and carry out the affairs of the government. So it's just a sad thing, because I know say somebody like you, whether they're into governance, I mean, we are not pay attention to stuff like that. But right now we have to, because the evidence are there. Anytime you see them coming on social media, pouring out this venom of hate and destruction and stuff like that, we see them, they manifest all the time in Sierra Leone. So we should not, we're not for just say we need to pay them attention. Let us take some of the statements serious, because we don't see evidence in Sierra Leone of some of such statements.
True, Richard. Make a land very quickly, because I see most of my other colleagues them on here now, human rights activists them where this not sit well with them, and then sit down there. I can see the flabbergaston at their face. I didn't see on their face, you know. But the point, but if you remember why I begin talk just now, I say what thing that happened. So this indecency, this offensive language, this hostility, this primitive and vulgar behavior is systemic and endemic in the SLPP, meaning that right through the system, from the one day where they appoint in the office to the one day where they hang around, right through they all they think the same way, they think the same colleague. Okay, so agree with you 100%. Say yes, we will pay attention to anything and because what thing I can say coming events cast their shadow. Where you don't begin see that one day, it don't give an indication which thing that happen. But certainly, when me don't see somebody like Lima talk, now they focus on now. Now are they use for say no. Them people also want for tighten with democratic space. Them people also good for human rights commission expectations and so on and so forth. So I'm not saying I will not pay attention to this one also. But Lima, a own assertion is sufficient enough for me to mount the biggest effort ever for denounce that and to completely expose them to the public. Now that's what you say.
Suleiman.
Yes, sir, if I can come in.
Okay, let me jump over Mr. Jare.
I want to do a follow-up to what my brother say. Ajibu, in as much as I go agree with you, say, this fellow, where they call him a gentle, na clown, because he's a clown by his status. But I want we take cognizance of one fact, and I don't want to be misunderstood to be a tribalist. I am one person who grew up to live amongst all the ethnic groups in Sierra Leone. The Mende ethnic group then gets a commonality where we not understand that the North. When once a leader has said something, the rest of them, they follow suit. Mm-hmm. They have more socio-psychological coordination than all the other ethnic groups in Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. And please let nobody not misinterpret me. What I mean is, because most of these guys in this PAOPA, not the SLPP, the SLPP is not in power. It's the PAOPA, the radical rebellious group in the SLPP, started by Albert Magai. We mislead the country because all the Togri and what in Albert Magai started. I have proofs of that. Because this rebellious group, then we go to bush, then get the generation where then train. Lahai Lima is a product of that generation. This gentle word they talk now, a product of that generation. So they think the same. When one says something, the other one and they confirm them and spread them. And the more they spread it, the more it becomes actualized. This is what we have to watch in Sierra Leone. This is what we have to watch. These are the things we need to be watching for. And these are the things we need to take serious in Sierra Leone. Otherwise, these guys will continue to use impunity and kill innocent people in Sierra Leone. What in the we get for begin think of? Where Sule bin the talk where I say, me a big man and not go talk much. When we get we country back, we go ask the international community for calm. Let we revisit all the crap we then do. Because what they call TRC and special court, na crap. Then just put certain people in the forefront, the real rebels, then they roam free, and most of them are in government now. Ali Kaba included. It's in the TRC document that Ali Kaba started the RUF. Charles Taylor said it, that he knew only Ali Kaba in Benghazi. Why is he a member of the government today? Because it's the RUF that is in power. Let us begin to tell these guys we know who they are. We know who they are. And if they take this country to the next step, we are prepared for them. We will seek international assistance to get them under control. Not all them Papa that I left Salone give them. Now we all 7 million people.
So thanks. If I just chip in, when you watch all the statements here, this is the same impunity what they talk about. If people if they not check people for their actions and things they're going to do in the past, this will continue for the repeat again and again and again, and Sierra Leone will continue for the see the actors here, they move from one angle to another. The thing about the Sierra Leone society, it's not that people that they use their brain for progressive development or things like that. Their own brains and make it all out for machinate the system, how for lie, how for twist, prevent progress from happening here. This is what I'm saying. We made a mistake in 2007, but 2023, if we kick the wire out, we'll not make the same mistakes. Me, I go Freetown. I swear to God. I know if that Samora Camara will be able to go this time at the go Freetown, it's for one purpose. For go actually air my own views inside the political circles about what to do. There are so many things that needs to do. Follow certain models around the world. What do they call great leadership? Every leader gets somebody a model. Every leader gets somebody a model. If you not get somebody a model, you're like a fool. You come into leadership with two objectives. One are for transform the nation. But how? You don't get the knowledge. But look at what others have done. For example, any post-war leader, for actually look at other post-war leaders in all across the African continent and other parts of the globe. What did they do that made them to transform the nation from one section to another? I'll tell you one fundamental fact is, if you leave all the elements of things that will create this problem, people that will manipulate the problem, people that will be there around the problem, if you left that for exist in a post-war situation or in this kind of post-conflict situation, you can never be peaceful, because if they come back like a cancer way, they come back, it will develop back, it will come back, it will affect the political, socio-economic situation of that country there. Lima is just like a serious, it just resembles Hakikola, the Hinganoman of the SLPP. I mean, he has implicated himself a lot. He don't even understand. If in a possible way we don't actually live overseas and spend time at the institutionalized world and understand the implications of the statements here, if we don't go back again and bury it, but this not going to resonate. Like, okay, in the Sierra Leone society, inside the governance of Sierra Leone, how many people will get this kind of understanding? Like, that statement didn't have nothing.
But Suleiman, you watched the recent video where Steady Bongo do?
Yes.
Where he talking Mende, you understand?
This is a man where all man they dance in music, the man they dance in music, the man they dance in music, so man they dance in music. They get the effrontery. For can make a statement like this. They call other people cats, call people the lion. It's so unfortunate. It's because examples have not been set by this particular country for let other people and see that they kind of things here we do if forget serious implication. For example, there'll be some countries said they don't ever record the music.
But according to other audio,
Very good.
So woman in the talk say it relate to the first lady as a cat, not Leoneans then, or not APC.
I lie. I get it.
Nah, resolution technique. Shaba.
Now that makes
don't buy that. Don't buy that.
Before we come on live, I call Steady Bongo because I'm out for interview on WhatsApp. Make it clarify.
Anyway, they talking about phone. I don't know
because we want to know.
They say, Lord, get out with self. Lord, get out with self. I mean, Lord, with self. Lord, this line, you know, feel like say, you know, it's like showing, you know, it's the SLPP hegemony, just like where Jaboria said just now. The SLPP gets something they call the hegemony. You know, like yesterday I was talking about tribalism, and I talk about me we go to school at in the country, we not even sabi talk conversational activity. Why? Because me own papa be a very modern kind of thinking possible. You know, first we say papa, you for sabia. But it's not like that with the southeastern people. They only like it in a whole, in a body in a Hollywood, they go force you for talk that many. So the thing is something about the SLPP. There's something about southeastern roots. The hegemony to the SLPP. There's nothing they can tell you where you can make. Then people there, they talk the same language. That's why I see anytime a government kind of power, they dominate the press, they dominate civil society. That's what they do. It's all about themselves. They put money, they form them, they cause it, they say, when I go from civil society. They form civil society that for secret SLPP interests. They put money in the press, they buy international image. You see all they go all around the world. They spend a lot of money for attention, you know. And I mean, this is what they are, and it's like the same language, the same thing, the same SLPP. This is a dangerous situation as well. Me, I know how to fix that. Honestly, I swear to God to say the thing way for change. Sierra Leone will be a country where if me say I will roll out some policies in the next 20 years to God will replicate it. They don't say talk native that. Two languages in Sierra Leone, Creole, English. Make it like we need a tribalism act in Sierra Leone. An act where we talk Creole and English at every institution, every this and that. You are talking Mende, terminal or whatever, this, that, talking about market, but outside they deliver service, inside driver the day, inside government institution, this, that, and make you know that fine of the what kind of nation this? If we're not talking about terminal, body now, we're talking about Libama body, progressive union, full of this, that, got chopped into 16 tribes. What do you make you see we stagnated today? We can't work together because we get this enhanced tribalism.
Yes, I want to do that. Sule, we cannot be thinking of doing the things right and doing the same thing. The solution to Sierra Leone's problems are there. But as I can always say, we the intellectuals, we therefore begin think together as a team. Sierra Leone does not have an ethnocentric problem. We have a problem of mentality.
And mindset.
Yes.
The mindset, yeah.
We are all cousins in that country. The Koroma who speaks Mende has the same DNA as the Koroma who speaks Timini. The Fofana born in Cambia has the same DNA as the Fofana born in Tarama or Bo. The Tarawali in Kenema is the same as the Tarawali in Bombali, Tonkolili, and Cambia.
Just a quick question, Mr. Jambora. Remember when Shaka Stevens, they make all them Southeastern public servants, they grow in Northwest for go work.
Yes.
All the Northwest public servants, they kind of the Southeast for cow work.
Yes.
That worked well for the country under the one-party constitution. That makes
exactly.
Shaka Stevens is Sierra Leone's greatest leader. Anybody
is that one is undeniable.
I give it to him. Greatest leader. In time in Sierra Leone, we not
I give it to Shaka Stevens.
We'll get them like CP for them. Joe Barabagali, we call it Uncle Joe, Uncle CP.
Yes.
These were the friends of our father. There was Kabarad.
Right.
You see, I went to school in the north with Mende people. Them we all go the same way. We don't even know this kind of difference.
You see, what in are they say, Sule?
Leaders.
This is the time Sierra Leone should have a new beginning.
That's correct.
But we should be careful not to continue with the culture of impunity. That's why we may need the international community to come in. We may have to sit down quietly and come out with certain strategies that will help us to begin to think as a nation, not as Mende, Timni, or Creole. And at the same time, we for empower then languages and then cultures then they, for make people and feel say them belong. You see, the white man is not stupid. When the war ended, one of the policies where the international community they try for push very hard for make we adopt now decentralization. By decentralizing Sierra Leone, you begin to solve the problem of ethnocentrism. But we have been slow in doing it because we constitution give too much power to those in governance. I believe so the first step when we get a new government, we for review the constitution and get a referendum on a constitution, we go make Sierra Leone governable for everybody.
I think you don't.
Yes, I
think you don't hit the point right there. And I will tell you unequivocally that if you get somebody like Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara as president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, what you they ask for so is what you'll get. Because
I know that, sir. I have known Dr. Samora Kamara since the 1980s when he was working at the Bank of Sierra Leone.
To fix the issue of impunity, not to one way somebody they do now in host or now in now you need an institutional arrangement for do that. And I believe say this gentleman get the knack, he get the attitude, and he get what he take for bringing them kind of thing. And then lacuna they inside our system. You know, I could tell you something. I was a member of the Aswa government, Dr. Anes by Kuruma, and really and truly, in as much as we do a lot, thing that they will accomplish, will not accomplish. Wait to this day, they shake me and say, wow, these were low-hanging fruits that we could have done. We spent quite a lot of money, okay, spent a lot of time for reviewing the Constitution. That Constitution was done Dr. Cowan, after I don't know extensively, presents that one to government. We hold on to that one day. Instead of we do the needful, we begin play, and Latin. They take them on them down for we. Really.
Right.
That is something we really need for regret. Because that constitution was really had been looked at from everywhere. And they identify all them problems. That is why when we go to parliament, not to parliament, court the other day for go challenge PR system, I begin shake the head for the people. But gentlemen, what are you talking about? This had been there, okay, while we were there. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't take a commodity. How they can begin holla now, we not pull a commodity. Now we were affected. Now one can pull a commodity. You know, so that was the downside in our government.
Well,
And
well, you said it.
Forward, if we ever look back and see, decide the way you know do well. Okay, if you be true to yourself, really and truly. So you're right. We need an institution, and Dr. Samuel Wilson-Kamal will give us that.
He will. That I'm sure about. That I'm sure about. He will.
Rachel, let's move on to the airport, please. The new terminal, the new airports. What's the laugh? They have a few airports.
Yeah, you know what? I will want to make you take on that. But Ajibu, you have been in governance. We are most of us are talking out of waiting with a C. You know, when governments are in power. But you have been in governance, and you've seen. You don't see all the strategic moves there. So towards the end of election, towards the end of a term and getting to elections, we don't see all of these things, and we don't see some developmental stride where you participating at the APC don't make, and even some of the ones that were in at the pipeline where the Mamama airports. And now we don't see the SLPP do an extension or airports. I'm still struggling with that. To the delusional people, them we feel that it's a brand new airport, but you don't get into governance. I'll go on for make you elaborate on this airport or this terminal that the SLPP, is using right now as a political score to the people of Sierra Leone, and compared to the plan where like you say, government of continuity, where our government we don't make with like airports where we don't already the plan, we don't the structure, we don't already there in paper trying to implement. How we see this whole thing play out with regards to this airport thing?
Thank you so much, Gatel. Thank you very much for this question. You know, what I see in all of this, we get issue with priorities. The Bureau administration gets serious issue with priorities, and it appear like for say they want for embellish, it appear like for say they want for confuse, and like you say they want for put things in a people in face we know they're happy. We extensively sit down and decide on building an airport. Okay, we talk to international partners. The IMF now moral guarantors in the sense that they look at how they operate economically and advise, and then go also serve as a credit reference to other donors. Them for say they are on the right path, support them on this. Okay, so we beget a lot of argument where IMF tell we say no, you cannot have that airport, you cannot afford it. Okay, we go up, we come down. We actually do some changes here, there. We go as far as for do some environmental assessment and all of that. And it took the Chinese for cartel, we say, then go provide we with concessionary loan, a loan where we pay a very, very small amount of interest, and that interest they not go start for 15 years down the road. Okay, when the airports go down begin generate some income, it don't become fully functional. So that was attractive enough for make we present to IMF, where IMF say, okay, in that circumstance, we'll not go ahead. But then the idea was, why we not need an airport? Well, we needed an airport because it go boost tourism. It go boost the attraction of foreign direct investment. People the way they can travel either for business or personal reasons. When you look at Guinea, what's going to happen at Guinea? What's going to happen at Guinea? When you land in Guinea, within 20 to 30 minutes, you then at your office, you do your business because the airport's the inland. The same in Liberia. the same na Senegal, the same na Gambia. But Salone, when you land, you get for content with going across the estuary. You get for wait for 3-4 hours before you reach. That was a turn-off. So that was what we looked at. We say, well, this will actually help tourism. It will help business people and will say, okay, if I not get for content with this going across the estuary, and it go better for me. Another thing was, airline them no be they make Sierra Leone them base simply because the facility they will get will go accommodate them, staff them, hotel facility. Not in Alungi. It the only way now about it. They also get for cross the estuary. That one they present an issue with the insurance policies. The insurance then say no, we're not going to allow this to happen. So therefore, you go notice say the tell British Airways be the cancel Salone here. They cancel Salone, a land, a grab go Liberia, they go sit on the they can the next day for can pick up from Salone for go back. You see Brussels. Brussels the same thing, and Liberia they go change crew. Air France, they go change crew na Guinea. Okay, so all of them problems here now lead to the fact that we need to get an airport inland. And then they begin looking now who side this airport for go. You only saw them for flat land like that one day, that Mabama area. Okay, which was strategically located. If now offline you go, now go you go so. If now free you go, now go you go so. Within an hour, you didn't use. Then what I don't care now, the meets we don't go in an advanced stage. Okay, this airport was for a total of about 315 million. 315 million for the airport. You will have a brand new airport, of course. Okay, not only that, you get 5 kilometers of road around them. Then the most important thing, you attract a new city. You go decongest Freetown. Because now when you don't get airport, business people will can establish hospitality epithets. You know, hospital go there, markets go there, hotel go there, and all length in a day. So you go decongest Freetown. So that was the big idea, you know, for this airport. We don't actually give the contract out, they don't approve the loan and everything else and whatnot and so on. When they were so come, they actually stop halting, then, you know, anger the Chinese, them really and truly, and then go tell we say that they build a terminal. That was what was promoted to us by Dr. Tambi.
But Ajibo quicker, why we don't start this airport before government change?
The process was going on. Then we don't clear. Then we don't begin pay people them for their land, because if you take somebody in wholesale in the land, you got to pay them. All of that has been going on. We don't commission them. If you remember, we commission them. We don't begin commission them. So it was started already. They don't begin clearing. Really, it was started. You know,
it was commissioned sometime early in 2016.
That's very true. It was commissioned. We were there. It was commissioned.
Because I just left Sierra Leone when that happened. I was in Sierra Leone up to January.
Then they stop them abruptly. And then they say they go give you a terminal. It was advertised as a terminal. Warawere, from terminal, it changed to airport, you know, and so on and so forth. But for me, whether not a new terminal, whether not a new airport, it don't make sense to me, no matter. Even if not new airport, it don't matter. The problem where we get still exists. The edifice is beautiful, it's magnificent, it's fine, yes. But if it is sitting in Lungi, then you know eradicate, you know ameliorate, you know take away the problem where travelers they get for deal with when they land. This airport, they pass through them. Okay, but that does not change. When you land, you still get for go check your boxing, you still get for either wait for ferry. If ferry don't go 9 o'clock, you get for wait till tomorrow. If you don't get $45, you get for if you get $45, you go to jump na boats, not so. If you come with a late plane when at the Turkish airline or the Air Morocco, it means that you get for cross 11 o'clock for flights where they left 2 o'clock in the morning, where they left 4 o'clock in the morning. That is very, very difficult for people left. You know, so the problem still stands, nothing no change. You get a new edifice, you get escalator and all, yes, all well and good, but then the problem still stands. You not change nothing. So my point is, issue of priority, now I will get with this government.
I see Suleiman, they want for comment on that.
Okay, I live in a town where the tourist mecca of Australia, Cairns. It's a town of nearly 178,000 people. We only extended the airport. We'll put $200 million there. That was like 7 years ago, because the air traffic congestion, because the tourism don't begin to overflow, and the one airport will be too small for take the load, the weight of air traffic. The flights, we get about 14 flight companies that already operate at this town. of 178 million people. We have 1.9 million, 1.6 million flights every year on peak tourist season. So sometimes I factor this. I work in aviation at this airport, one of the school. So I understand the marketing of tourism and everything. Not all airports, they bring tourism. I mean, it's a very, very different thing. I could agree a bit with Ajibu Jallo. I mean, if in terms of strategic location, everybody would throw so that logo for the try inside Salone. I mean, inside Mama Maya. That is a fact. But the whole thing about airport, let me just ask these questions. How much air traffic do we have in Sierra Leone? Because we know even they record more than 40,000 flights in a whole country of 7.8 million people. In a town of 178,000 people, we are recording 1.6 million flights every year. How many flights are going inside Sierra Leone? I was there in 2018. I did a Lunge airport. Now, some people they tell me, Brian, you don't before I played car. You don't before I play. And the country this one need the airport. What is the air traffic congestion where the air traffic controller they say, hey, when they get near accidents, near air accidents, and they create this kind of thing, and they could need airport. You see, the thing when they talk about failed priorities, and they say failed priorities, honestly, we don't need the airports. That long they will get based on the tourism fact where the amount of people when they visit Sierra Leone. How many, let me check the figures first. How many tourists go to Sierra Leone? How many out of people when they visit Sierra Leone, when they wake in the morning as tourists, it's not think about Sierra Leone today, not visit. That is not the attitude. It's not about the airport. It's about the country record. When somebody wake up and visit Sierra Leone, we wake in the morning, first and foremost, they check the flights, they check the cost of flight, they check the cost of accommodation. Then you look at the country in profile. None of it is attractive into the international, to somebody who just wake up the morning and come, that's Sierra Leone. We know that people don't go Sierra Leone on tourism like the 70s. Tourism in the boom. We know that. Go all around the beach of Sierra Leone, there's also black people in the sea. Any small few, it's one way they see that NGOs, they're NGO country to tourism country. There are a lot of fundamental things that we need to do to make Sierra Leone become attractive and affordable. We charge the highest airport taxes in the world. We charge the highest seaport that they make. We could capitalize on make Sierra Leone the Los Angeles of West Africa. If we could do it, how do we start doing it? If we look at marketing figures, we know the problem is we will not get market-oriented techniques. We look at the whole of West Africa. Sierra Leone, we are going to make almost a zero landing fees. Because the thing about tourism is to attract the volume of people. Because if we are able to make at least 500,000 or 1 million people enter into Sierra Leone, they can pump tens of millions of dollars into the local economy. They go for waka, they go for lodging a hotel, they go for buy cooking a street. Then they eat everything. Everybody they get. That is the money. But then they bring the dollars. Anybody will spend 2 weeks at Sierra Leone, come on Europe, it will spend almost nearly 2,000 euros or 3,000 euros into the local economy. Right. The exchange is going to help the Leones for develop, but we are not using the thing. Not on airports, the marketing. I mean, not say that the killer for tourism. I mean, not say that the thing where they bring tourism. It's about what are the fundamental things that we will start doing first. Let us make Sierra Leone affordable and attractive. In Ghana, I lodge in a 3-star hotel where they serve you breakfast and money for only $30 a night. You factor in that same particular kind of hotel inside Sierra Leone today, they talk about $100 a night. I mean, how many people will be attracted for going inside that particular place in Thailand? Yeah, no, I just can't feature, but give me just 1 minute.
Yeah.
I just show that the fundamental things where they kill this ability if we will talk about tourism. In Thailand, I spent $25 in a beachfront hotel for night, you get breakfast buffet and everything. We keep challenging that for left that day. The thing about us, all this airport talk was not even important in regards to boosting the Sierra Leone economy. What is for the important, like how for market Sierra Leone, how for make Sierra Leone safe, how for regulate the hotel system, how for regulate how much we charge flight companies for operate Sierra Leone. If we make it the cheapest in West Africa, more flight companies that they can invest. If we make Sierra Leone a free port, it will become the hub of West Africa. We can make Sierra Leone a West African container center. Can you imagine? We get the port where they land 8 ships at a time. That's how they talk so. With that small port we get 8 ships they land. How many ships will they land at the Banjul port? Now 1 at a time. So they got not get proper ports. They depend on Banjul. Now we get the best port of West Africa. There was survey done during the APC in 2016 when they show a futuristic kind of expansion of the port. Where for sure 20 ships for land. We could capitalize, but you know, as I said, we are politicians, they carry the human heads, but have ship brain inside. They don't understand marketing. We could capitalize for Sierra Leone for being the West container port of West Africa, where every ship they come out overseas, now then they can dump container. From there, we push them out to these small regions in West Africa. Now we for be the hub. Now we for get that particular advantage. We really capitalize on the geographical advantage and who's our seat. The policies they don't understand. They don't understand marketing. They don't see the Salone as also big book English PhD, this, that nonsense. They don't even understand the nitty-gritties of what they call marketing. This is marketing we're talking about if we want to talk about tourism. Today the country is so dirty, it's so polluted. I remember one friend tourist they go from Banana Island, they can't land, they smell the toxic fumes with the burn and the open sewage all around the city of Freetown, and they smell dirty. I mean, plastic dirty that they burn. This is the problems. How many people can we attract to go to Sierra Leone? If you give me a holiday ticket now, I would prefer for go Thailand for go and enjoy myself than go inside Freetown. This is the problem. We help, we need security, we need how they call ourselves affordability. We need for lower our taxes, so we encourage more people for coming inside in volume. Now we begin to talk about 100,000, 200,000, 1 million. Rwanda made $600 million in tourism. The Gambia can make $100 million in tourism, even with a patchback tourism. When they do so, a year.
Back in coming.
Yeah.
But they can still make $100 million every year in tourism.
I get a question when they just send me for
back in coming on this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 minute, Mr. Ajibu, if the power let me continue for Billy's Mamama airports, what if me happen with Lungi airports? For abandon them?
No.
And also, right now we don't get a new airport, as I say. What's in the happen now with Lungi airports, the one we won, but Lungi airports?
No, way before the establishment of Mamama arrangement, the ECOWAS, we don't say they go elect for use Lungi Airport as an ammunition dump. You know how they can say America, they fought war and they left America, right. They get strategic location them all over the place, the world. Now, so ECOWAS be one for strategically locate Lungi Airport for make now the ammunition dump. So if there is any unrest where require ammunition now the west coast of Africa, okay, then they go be the depository, then they go keep up. That was established already. We don't grip on nowadays. Okay, so that was what would have happened. Okay, the ECOWAS, the ECOMOG, before they do a lot of work yonder. Now that airport they wait them for the land their own plane, then get their ammunition, then they go in and count. There have been quite a lot of activity.
So that means people have still work on the airports day.
Well, you're not gonna get airport as per se, airport for handle passengers per se, but rather you get airports where they handle all the other things them where ammunition dump for ECOMOG.
So did I hear? Sorry, Sanchama. Did I hear this former APC? I mean, Ajibu Jalo say so. Would I be not agree for make Lungi an ammunition dump? You see madness.
No.
How can the government make even a dump? It could be a second airport.
No. Wait. No. Suleiman, you said it yourself. You said it yourself. We not get sufficient. We not get enough traffic. But what we had agreed with now with ECOMOG, for make ECOMOG make now the strategic dump. Which side then go they keep them arsenal and them material and all of that. Now,
how can we have you see the same thing about dumb government policies? How can we have a small country with a small geographical make 179,000 square meter around country? Now we will go accept policies that for go make.
But what's wrong? They bring Top Gun at the place.
There's a lot of things wrong because of bombs. No. That is why That is why we get war. That is why, because we actually allow the country, we don't make proper policy, but more allow Salone for be a landing and base for ECOMOG, drew we into the Liberian situation. We don't still learn with lessons. Was that not what
hold on, Suleiman.
was saying?
The United States have a base in Germany. The United States have bases around the world. What is wrong with that?
Well, we don't need that. How many
Sule, I have said there are certain things I don't want to say here because I want peace in Sierra Leone. That story I didn't tell you about Mama allowing ECOMOG and bring what, that's bloody crap. The RUF entered Gadane with Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor didn't have a functional army. In 1987-88, the RUF entered Gadane from La Côte d'Ivoire with Charles Taylor. They started recruiting people in Liberia. When the Madingos went to Samuel Doe to inform him, then the Madingos became enemies in Liberia and they were killed in droves. The RUF was the engine of the war in Liberia, not Sierra Leone being the engine, Liberia being the engine of the war in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. These are facts some of us know.
Why that is all true?
We knew at that time it was a bad government policy. People
no, sir. Mama had Charles Taylor.
What should have happened
was given 48 hours to leave Sierra Leone. By
now,
then,
whether it is right, whether it is wrong, that I don't have to defend that. But
other countries in the world,
question to me was whether or not the airport would have been less followed.
We don't need no base in Sierra Leone anyway. We don't need no
the point I want to come in with, gentlemen.
Yes, please.
Lunge Airport will always be an important place to use by the air traffic system.
That's correct.
The location of the airport is not important. It's the location of the country. Sierra Leone is geographically located, and I'm talking now as a professional geographer, somebody with a university degree in geography. Sierra Leone is located geographically such that you can reach any of the major cities in the Atlantic region within 7 to 8 hours by air, and any of the major ports in the Atlantic region within 14 to 16 days by sea. And Sierra Leone has the largest natural harbor in Africa. The port of Freetown can extend from Kissigras Field up to the back of Prince of Wales School.
We can have over 20 ships back there.
No, sir, 200.
Yes,
I'm telling you as a fact.
And I don't know about that number, but again, that was what we did by extending the port, all of which was terminated and stopped by this government.
Exactly, sir. And what I want to come with on Mama Ajibu.
The port extension was ongoing.
Ajibu, if you can allow me.
Go ahead.
Mama was going to bring Sierra Leone to an international advantage, not because of the location of the airport, but because Mama would have had the facilities to accommodate more than 12 aircraft simultaneously.
Exactly. That's very true, sir.
And that would have instigated an international air traffic sequence that would have made Sierra Leone the Schiphol of West Africa.
But again, Boy Jambore, again, to challenge that, it is all again about the policies and the marketing.
Yes, you are right. I am not challenging that.
Okay, let me just come inside. Mr. Jambore, let me just come inside. For me, if I had my way, Lunge Airport for me just like I did, so Lunge Airport, just put a bit of money there, 50.
No, we not deliberate on Lunge Airport and allow look at the advantages, Sule. The issue of Sierra Leone being a military hub for Africa, whether we like it or not, that has to come into the matrix at certain point. And I will tell you presently, I'm talking now international relations. If you see the international community, they pay attention to Sierra Leone. Now the geographical location, then they take into consideration, say, if we not interfere in that country, we allow rogue regimes there, we will suffer. We will suffer because for reach New York from Freetown is very easy. For reach Buenos Aires is easy. Reach London is easy. Imagine a regime not in the favor of the West than Sierra Leone. You know what kind of military damage that will be strategically? That's not what we are discussing here. What we are discussing here is Sierra Leone has a geographical advantage that Mamama was going to begin to instigate.
That's true, sir.
That notwithstanding, Lunge Airport would have always continued to be an airport. London City has 3 main airports.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Jabel, give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute.
Sure.
For me, that with this kind of money could link Lunge to Freetown in 2 ways. We can spend a bit of that money on just refurbishing that airport because we'll not get the air traffic yet into the country. We can build a bridge from that Hastings, take out Waterloo across the Roquel, which automatically just shortens the journey to Lunge. It shortens the journey to Lunge. Instead of you go take 1-2 hours going boom, now you got to the journey to Lunge by 40 minutes.
Okay. Before we end this,
that's a possibility.
Well, we could have done that because
that's a possibility.
No, but Sulaiman, that suggestion is fine.
My question here is before we move on probably to another issue, if Egerton you can come in there. I just want to ask, because we know how we country they now economically. We know the situation. I just want to ask, of course, in terms of priority, it's a no-no. But again, let's look at the cost of waiting Mamama for Causeway and waiting this extension.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The
extension was quoted at 274 million. Now where they don't complete them, they're not going to
say Ajibu go again on probably Mr. Jallo or Solomon.
The extension was quoted initially for 274 million. We all know all too well that after you don't do the entire, there is always a 5 to 7% increase. So I'll tell you for a fact that it will cost you another 300 million or even more. Okay,
exactly.
Now, Mamama
agreed.
Mamama was 215 million. 315 million on a loan where we know they begin pay past 15 years from now at a very, very low percent. But Mamama would give you 5 kilometers of road. Mamama would give you hotels. Mamama would give you schools and hospitals around there where also go decongest Freetown. So the benefits where you go derive from Mamama was much greater, but more so, what Mr. Jamboya talk about the strategic location of that.
Mamama would have provided more than 5 tunnels.
Exactly.
More than 5 aircraft a day.
Airport where they talk about can only hold 6 planes at a time. Well, for God's sake, we get 6 planes. What you get as Salone?
In other words, we all agree. Say first of all, it was a missed priority for the government of Sierra Leone.
Big time.
It was not a missed priority.
Big time.
It was not a missed priority.
Big time. But we were told that
Mr. Jallo, Mr. Ajibu Jallo.
Yes, sir.
One thing Sierra Leoneans have not understood is the mentality of the man sitting at State House, Madabio. Now, my way, elect for sure say, if this person can do this, myself can do it. Now, that's poor for Canforce can't talk about Lunge Bridge. We don't have say it's too expensive. Now, go make a crap extension, it's in a airport.
No,
it's all a matter of telling the people that the APC had said, Mamama, I have done it. That's the psychology.
Let us just establish here what we discuss here today with regards to the Mamama, because I don't want people and will feel say, or people in perception will say, okay, we are here just to criticize waiting President Biodon doing at the extension or the so-called airport that they claim they've done. I don't want to make we just here to criticize, but let us look at the benefits and also let us look at the cost. You know, which one for we don't better Salone people, and because what we are saying here is something that will benefit the individuals, something that will benefit Sierra Leoneans. Let us establish that as to why we think, say, the cost was too much for an extension rather than that airport will be done already. The foundation be done lay, which is Mama Airport. Let us establish
Rachel,
that.
by all means, by all means. The problem will be now the fact that when you land at Sierra Leone, you still get for contend with crossing over to Freetown, and that was difficult.
Exactly.
The problem. Okay, that's
you
problem.
Take more time for cross than they fly.
They fly. What exactly? You listen, 10 million at Salone, you can't left post in Alunge, the post they reach London, okay, it don't go 9 hours, you still not cross it. That problem still exists.
I always say that there.
We are not criticizing because they have done anything wrong. We are criticizing because we are looking at the cost effectiveness of
and you know
that is exactly what I want to make you establish at this platform.
Most of the people the way you see that airport, the way they go up and down, they take pictures.
Because we don't like President Bio or we don't like the SLB. We are not just doing that, but we're looking at.
If he had done the correct thing, I would have been the first person to praise him.
Of course. Most of the people they take pictures and they
let me just listen quick to Suleiman. Then Shaba,
I can agree with that's why I agree just now for saying, okay, in terms of what they don't do so, it could have been better for Duma Airport. This is just very, very simple. Because that particular cost of that airport extension, it not serve no purpose, no useful purpose.
That is what I want to
nothing. It's a crappy, old crap project. They could have actually spent a bit of, even if that be a smaller airport, we cost that. That kind of thing, when they do that, they do accept that by myself. If we serve a better purpose, because flights for Kansai for actually contain the cost of what is about. What did for say? Inside a country, we get brilliant thinking people. That particular project can link Lunge to Freetown. They don't do that feasibility study there over the Rokel River. I don't go through Waterloo, where I cross go the SI Koroma in Plantation and Magbembera. From Magbembera to Potlock are just 15 miles. We walk, if we walk and go Potlock or walk come back, cross the river. That's it. That's just Potlock short. So you see the possibility of putting a 2-lane go Freetown, 2-lane come and cross the bridge. They go put toll lane. It don't create that link where you see Canon and Lunge Airport direct over the highway. 30 minutes to 40 minutes, you are right inside Freetown. Now things are whatever don't actually think about.
Shaba, before you come, what is Sulaiman?
Okay.
1 second, Shaba, 1 second, yeah. Sulaiman, what he says will make a lot of sense. But Sulaiman, don't forget, say, then we don't float that idea there, the cost of which was $2 billion. And no investor no come. In fact,
no. You don't get me points. You don't get me points. Not to that terminal, not to that ferry terminal. You see, you don't stand point.
Wait, no, lad, don't.
The crossing point. Now, short bridge. When people remember the Magbele Bridge, the crossing point. That's what
from that to that.
From Pepel, around Pepel area.
When you drive, go down Waterloo, from Hastings now till Waterloo, just after Waterloo, you get crossing point. They were so short, just like that Magbele Bridge.
Yes.
So they don't do visibility study, they on that Tijankaba in time. But it's just that the new government may follow that up. But that very short point you contain that the same size of Magbele Bridge, they put over the river and put 2 lanes straight. You know, they go, it's just a branch from put up over that highway to the airport and cross the bridge, Kaisai Freetown back again. Now just over the river. So instead of you go Popo Putloko, you just drive, take car and turn over.
Sule.
So if you are left in the morning, you don't need the ferry. If the flight at 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you don't left Freetown. 10 o'clock, you don't left Freetown, you don't cross. Before they say 11 o'clock, you don't look it. Less than 40 minutes.
Sule, I know the area where they talk.
This is what I'm saying.
It's a crossing between Joetown and you they go bus now one place now. Lokoma somehow then called Pit.
Something like that.
I know the
river area.
Sule, very controversial.
Egatin, let me make this point. Lunge, as it is now, does not have land for expansion in the future.
No.
If they say for expand Lunge Airport as it has been built, it will cost the government of Sierra Leone a lot of money. Because all the people that we don't build houses within that airport area, then get for compensate them for their houses. So it's best you go to an open area at Mamama, you get enough land, you build the airport. As the air traffic they increase, you able to expand on the functions and the terminal. That's another economic point that was
okay. What we do? What we do? We need time for wrap up now because we run out of time. And
okay, sir.
We'll get for there.
Okay. Shaba, just before you done, that side, Shaba, just before you done, let me talk about this airport very quickly. Now, this airport, whatever they say, first then be established, they want to do a bridge for $2 billion. We not get no investor will take up. All of a sudden, Wagawe, they say they do terminal. All of a sudden, Wagawe, come up from terminal, we come to airport. Fine, all well and good. But the president, when he be the commissioner, he talk about the fact that APC na IMP and what he do now bill operate and transfer. What is a bill operate and transfer? Bill operate and transfer, then people are with their own money. They build this airport, now they get the airport, now they own the airport, and they get operate to the airport, and they charge what they want charge, they hire whatever they want hire for the next 25 years. Now they do what they want to do. At the end of that, they take an Nigeria. So what we don't do?
This is the
we don't give something for making money to somebody else. Then what did they do? So when they can invest 274 billion, then they put at the cost line, they go front derivatives. When they front the derivatives, they say I get assets in equity under. They're able to use that asset and equity when they make money, when they make money 25 years down the road, for raise much more money for do other big projects. The thing will get about people in a second. They're not able to think 20 years down the road. They're able to think obtusely. They're able to think as a parabola.
Yeah, that is my concern. That is my concern. You know, the extension of the airport.
Far. Which would the benefit? They don't get the money already. They collected the equity where it is, the future equity where it is, they don't use it already for get assets on the side, for acquire business on the side. So now we don't get in it, really, truly. Now like the
I don't think for now there's no benefits. There is no benefit for us Leoneans.
You get 10 man where they work, they'll tell only 4 persons they did now. Okay? They will tell you we need professionals here. You will see this the managing director and they will provision. What does Salone will get again? So what have we done? Makes no sense. We're not going to know any benefit. If we will run it ourselves, we'll have our own managing directors, we'll have our own planning, we'll give our people the jobs and so on and so forth. So this was a bad deal.
I think it was a bad deal. I think it was a bad deal.
This is the worst deal they ever know that the other country. Very worst. It does have no useful purpose. Absolutely.
Mr. Jamboga, you think say Mr. Jamboga?
Hello, sorry, sir. Are they two sides? We are spider.
We start for wrap up, but I want to play this video. I want to make you comment on this video for 1 minute, please, sir.
Okay,
yes. We've spoken to people and they've said that it's because of economic hardship that prompted them or that propelled them to go out on the streets to demonstrate. And what are you doing to address economic hardships in this country?
With the prices of things just going up, I cannot protect the people of this country. Not you.
Salone.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jamboga.
Let God help we. Because this is an outright expression of lack of vision from a head of state. Simple, straightforward question. You say with the prices of things I cannot protect. Why can't you? Don't you have policy makers? Can't you think of how to counter some of these things? Can't you think of how to regulate these things? Are you saying you cannot control your home? If you get yours, Shaba, you go to market today, you meet price of rest don't go up. You not go sit out you FM picking them on a discussable. So they will be in the eat 10 cup or now be eat 6 cup. So that you go able to afford for the eat. Now that way you go answer. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. That's all I can say. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jamboga. We'll wrap up now, Suleiman. What are you take on this video?
So, okay. I'll be just one. Go ahead.
Yes, Suleiman.
Very, very unfortunate if you cannot protect the people in terms of, ensuring the regulation of prices in that country, did they for actually did it? Well, I mean, it just shows that Madabiolo actually did up to the task. Actually, I mean, as I talk so today, the prices of commodities go up. Almost 80% of people already work. 79% of women in that country, they not get economic activities. There's no investment. There's no jobs. Prices are going up. It's just madness. It just shows a 4 year of failed policies that has not actually worked for the
So
people.
the president not get empathy for Salonians.
They not get vision.
Like the same impunity we talk about, because when people they come in an easy ride and they, other people, them actors, they make it easy for them. That is why Sierra Leone politicians will ever actually care for Sierra Leone, because the people, the grassroots people, and they make them feel so, because we're so quick for dance for them, we're so quick for support them, we're so quick for make them look like gods, we're so quick for which is how the people are going to actually even care about the suffering of people. When every single day you get one nuisance or one horrible person where they continue for the Bambaram, make us saying a king and everything, and then people in the office say they do bad. That is the tale of some politicians. They think they do anything bad, because when we sit down this waste me time, 4 o'clock morning, I don't wake and say I can't join Shabbat. Show look at me, I all swell per me. I don't even properly yet. No, it's okay. But I mean, if I do that kind of sacrifice here, then people they don't care.
That brings me to so we end up the program question where I want for put out there to all the panelists or the guests that we can so today. We have said so much about the happenings of Sierra Leone for the past 4 years, and it seems as if there's nothing to write home about. I want to say, moving forward, we're getting close to election, and what's in our expectation? I mean, Una are very important key players, and Una don't know how elections don't come and go and don't play out, especially the last one we passed so we in the SNPP take over. What's in our expectation and inside this election, and if the APC led by Samura Kamara, gets a change of government, what will Samura or what should Samura do differently as to waiting to go on now? Ajibula, start with you.
I mean, clearly, Dr. Samura Kamara has been a professional. And of course, when you don't do the capacity for so long, and having been a professional, don't be the head of parastatals, don't be the head of project and so on and so forth, eventually in a politics you go back. Because when you don't get all the experience, you don't learn all things, then you want for the night position where you make decision. What do politicians do? Politicians really, they bring policies. Okay, now policies the politician they bring up. Then everybody else they can implement the policy. So now you get for expect that for say somebody like Samora, the end game for people like now politics for Bopa. But because of in training, because of the experience we don't get, and because of in nature the kind person where it be, okay, you will expect somebody where go present a level playing field for everybody, somebody way accommodative, somebody will go think before he do things and bring about policies them will go benefit Sierra Leoneans in general. Certainly, I think to say amongst what we get, that is about the best option we have. Okay, what we don't see happen, so not go happen. Usai with ferry, then become light, but we say that they bring new ferry come. 30 they will not see them ferry, then they run. Okay, usai then become light, but we say that they bring bridge come, then pull close. How they call them close then they where the old man they were. How they call them actually for say they can't launch bridge. With that bridge, they will never see I'm happy. Usai we can't tell Usai a terminal from terminal. I don't can't own airport. All of this, I'm quite sure say you know go get that one day. Pan Dr. Samura Kamara, he not get an character. They go tell you what able for do, how able for do them. They go bring all mankind at the table. And furthermore, this party of SLPP and this BO regime, there is a difference between SLPP and PAUPA. The intention, thank you very much. I don't see the bridge. Yes, but look the ferry. Now the ferry is. Let me tell you, say this ferry. I mean, I don't understand how they play with people intelligence. Then can show with Perry, say this Perry, now in they can't change with life plus and what not and so on. Never happened. And they're not afraid self. You know, that means for say they toy people intelligence because you didn't remember, so remember that. For say everything else where you're talking a lie. But what thing we don't see, the intention we then get now for rig this election, then for rig this election, we see where they take 250,000 voters, they exclude them for whatever reason. Okay, now from the north, them pull up. Okay, they not stop there, then come with PR system. Yes, we go challenge the PR system, was fait complete was a mistake, really and truly. But we see where they come with PR system for what? The circumstances will require that no day. Okay, we see how they can force this issue of census per week. And when we make the awful mistake for actual people that not participate, then carry on with it anyway. What in they want and they get. At the end of the day, you get more people in Kenema, you get more people in Abu than you get in Freetown. So evidently, when you come with this PR system, Kenema, where you're supposed to only get 10 parliamentarians, you're going to end up with 12. Freetown, where you forget 20 parliamentarians, you're going to end up with 6. Even if APC ain't powerful, ain't more popular day, but the most you can get out of there is 6. So you see the strategy. So the rigging endemic they inside the system don't do them already. What will happen now at election day? A situation where they go stuff ballots by you. Who say you forget 300 votes, you count 350 and say we'll cancel now day. And then cancellation they will be in the north and the western area when I go tell me back. So that's where we're at.
So it's like you don't predict the election. So why go into? I mean, why the APC will go into such an election where already the prediction on the anyway?
Because we depend on people like Puna and we hold on a true way objective, fair, and balance. And we know very well for say when I go promote the issue here, so when I go take them serious, when I go bring and come out, let all man begin to talk about them. We go actually sway them for actually going forward with them. Now I make God bless you now for what you they do. Let God continue for helping now. May other people continue to do what you do. So we all eyes go be on deck for understanding Sierra Leone that we all own.
Suleiman, what thing that you take on your expectation inside this election, because the SLPP are so confident that the Salone people will give them another mandate for govern the people of Sierra Leone.
Very, very disappointed in regards to the circumstances leading to this election. The SLPP started a campaign from when they came inside office in 2018. All the different things they want to do, civil society, where they try to chuck the people in there. You know, the thing that worry me about the APC is sometimes they can sit down, they sleep, they see a lot of things happen. And I mean, first of all, like Cherry Cocola possibly disappoints me a lot in regards to being like a passive spectator. See all this injectment of the SLPP in regards to all the civil societies, all these things are in the background and in background force. Media, this, that, they do all the background here, and the APC they sleep. They can't part in a registration process. I mean, I don't see how much protest will them raise for let it reach the international airs and the community, let them know the mind games where they play to the people in our country. They went and test the PR system where they say, "Sir, you don't get constitutional boundaries now. Constituent boundaries. We don't get regional boundaries, and now they grab the whole try to test this thing again." We don't see much things from the opposition. But let me tell you something which can worry me. Nigeria registered 93 million people for vote. Guess how many turn up for go vote? 25 million people. So who say all that crowd been there? This is why we can talk about this jamboree, dancing, singing. When we don't put our head, we need some people who they sit down for rationalize things and they use with brains. That day, the same thing about everywhere in West Africa, the same problem. That day, you have crowds in the streets, but they cannot sit down and and put themselves steady in this line. It take me almost an hour. But this particular year, I will cast the balance, the votes will make a difference. Oh no, some man just sit down 2, 3. I mean, listen in panels when they discuss what he went wrong. 93 million people are registered for votes. What's the matter? 25 million not turn up for votes. The Peter Obi movement, all this boku noise and ranting and everything. What do you mean now? Just 6 million. It was a tight election year, but not just 25 million people. Where were all the others with all that crowd? Africa man too like enjoyment. I see them say, if they come out of the line, they run for good dance. See that problem where they are
Like something that people register. How many people vote? Like
Yes, exactly. What's that you sit up or they left the line, they left the line, they run forward and the battalion. That's what happened in Nigeria. Then all the crying out, yeah. What's happening? It's not alive. But I'm not really serious for what Councillor Malo. I see potential in this election.
Okay.
What's it worry me? I see a problem like this similar they happen at Sierra Leone. You know, there's a lot of things going to happen. This election will be too good. There's so many things the SLPP don't do. With APC, they sit on the sleep. They feel safe for pull that crowd, that street. How many people have actually registered to vote in this election for the APC? I mean, look, with all the candidates, I can tell you, say the candidates when we will support and officially I'll support Dr. Samura Kamara in this particular election. I'll campaign for him. I'll fight for him. Honestly, I'll do it because I don't encounter him. Now, person way, regardless of what people can say, but he gets a very open mind. Person. I've actually had a chat with him. We attended my papa's funeral. I was there in 2018. We bind plenty time. We talk a lot extensively. But it looked like somebody who can keep his ears open. And also like a tight-knit, stuck-up person. Very, very open-minded. But sometimes don't joke with him. People like that can be very real when they surround themselves with the right kind of people around them. I mean, I get some hope in that aspect. If you win the election, I get some hope that possibly you go open your ears to good vibes. Because this is what a good leader needs. Anybody, if you haven't become a good leader, that person will go school in the same condom way. If that full person, that person in a stupid thing, and just because of party business, will bring, cut them off. You don't need them anymore. You don't need all this conclave. Surround yourself with people with brilliant minds. This is how it will benefit a leader. A leader don't get all the answers, but because they get the ability for pick the better people around them, for provide the support and guidance, it make a difference. That is what I possibly see in Dr. Samura, because as somebody I don't talk to, now the only candidate we don't talk to, where I don't say he particularly get the vibes. That is why me, Suleiman, go actually endorse her officially say I will support her because I'm the only better among all the nonsense.
All right, thank you. Coming from somebody who's so controversial as you, I don't say this is a big deal. This is a big deal for the APC. This is a big deal declaration for the APC.
I'm going to make a presentation for saying this particular election because the reason why I'm rich, I want to sell you. I mean, at this particular point in time, you will look at, you don't remember say, okay, they will arrest anybody, but anything can happen. Somebody can go pull one of my old videos and say, hey, looks like everything. I'm like, oh no, I'm not know. Because anytime I go to the Australian High Commissioner, Ghana, I know something. Anytime.
But enough of Bisto, Suleiman. Enough of Bisto.
But that's what we have. That's what we have.
Mr. Jalo, so what do you take as
when they talk to you, so are they in a similar situation like Suleiman? I cannot take my life to Sierra Leone now.
Yeah.
But so, the take about this whole thing is
the election, yeah.
The SLPP then gets a consistent pattern for rig the election.
Seriously.
Ajibu and others, they don't mention what thing they don't do. But there is one key thing that still has to be done where the APC get for wake up to. And they would only solve that problem with two solutions. One, then forget a clear-cut message to the electorate, let them become very active for participate in the voting.
Let them participate, exactly. Let them go.
Not only going to vote, forget them register them voters card for be the first step. That message for them begin go on now. Let all man go for getting voters card. Two, on the day of elections, let them go vote. After voting, the APC get for be vigilant. Let them not mistake rig the elections.
That is what they want to do.
But one thing I would say, and I'm saying this,
and I can imagine
they will force people to go to their houses because they want to stay behind and rig the elections. How are we going to ensure that is not done? I will not say here.
Let's learn from Nigeria. Learn from Nigeria.
I will not say here. Me and Ajibu will go talk down there inside the Congo. But let Mother Bio no say, no, they go scot-free. No, can't rig elections in Sierra Leone. The second thing what then they do, because they know say if them people and they present, they're not going to rig the election, then they try to frustrate the international community. This is why they are directing their attacks on the European Union, who have been the people to have been the principal funders of this election.
Mr. Jambore, I'm not got you worrying. That side, the only side we say we not worry me about the election, that the presence of the international observers.
They will be there. They will be there. They'll be there.
There will be hundreds of them because they don't suspect this thing. But the only thing is the APC
and the time when this present regime don't dig their own grave,
really
Suleiman,
then
you know, side don't dig their own grave. Suleiman, I just make this point. You know, side this present regime don't dig their own grave. Normally, the international community, they fund and then they're at the sideline and observe. Now, if you begin to attack these people, then you have already created a suspect situation.
That's correct.
So they have shot themselves in the leg.
Look the disgrace where Emerson Lamina go attacked. Look the disgrace where
the idiot. Yeah. I've been beginning with the word idiot and I feel saying a bad word. Yeah. But the fact is that at this material moment, every political player in Sierra Leone that is with the government, they are nothing but a bundle of idiots.
Rachel, if you watch
I have no regret in saying that.
Yeah, boy Jambora, if you don't watch the Human Rights Court 2000 at Freetown, where they sit at Freetown. The SLPP Kabar regime was very, very shocked and surprised. Why now we want people that they just bring Kam inside? Why was that court populated with Kamajos and then chief priest in Doha? Where were the other people who didn't talk about it? Was like they feel some people that fool at the wall. Just like Mr. Jambora said, they don't shoot themselves at the leg every single day. What's happened in 2000, it will repeat. Then they repeat so.
Because they only step up the message. They have that obligation to step up the message. Yes. And create the maximum awareness.
Rachel, you might term my comment as being speculative, but I'm going to insist on saying that Emerson Lamina was put up to that by the SLPP. Now they put him up.
Yes.
Yes. You might say speculative.
I would agree with that.
Me not go establish that here, but of course, looking at the track record and some of the things they have done in the past, it could be. So basically, Chaba, I think so. The program, but I think more attention from what I don't get from here today is that in as much as the APCians or the APC people are so enthusiastic, but there should be a messaging out there right now where begin go out to the people of Sierra Leone as to not to just the gladi and Gumbe dance. How to get yourself prepared. How to get yourself prepared to vote. That's right. So I think the APC should be coming out strongly with a message to the people of Sierra Leone.
I know the people of Sierra Leone
I know the people of Sierra Leone
certainly we will, Rachel, you're right. Me, I see firsthand waiting up in 2018. Me see people they come on a door. I say this was a foregone conclusion, believe you me. Me Naya, I dance in a stadium, I for not gone because I say, we don't win election. Only for with the happy to be so now. So we cannot be fooled, we cannot be baffled. The council I say that
not to large crowd. Don't be fool about that. People are very careless. Shaba, I don't believe say people are very careless. You know, if we don't instigate that spirit in people, say it like it take you 5 hours that line, it's enough that line day.
Yeah.
No people they say you cast your vote.
Yeah, so
it happened in Nigeria. 93 million people are registered and only 25 million votes. What the crowd?
Our choice of one inmate also speaks to that. To that end, also our choice of one inmate speaks to that end.
Yeah, Ajibu, una at the front runner inside una party. I mean, this is just it's just a concern, for one ourselves, not for take for granted, not looking at just the crowd. But for energize the people and also there's a message for they go out there constantly to remind the people and say not to just the crowd, you guys go out and get your voter ID.
Then there's your Rachel Olokochu, then there's your the APC people and the old Dr. Samurai Kamara on Facebook, they dance making. I said, but no, forget about the dance. Talk about the man.
Yeah, I mean, so
talk about the man. What's he get for achieve? What's he get for?
So this is just good for the APC. For the
Let me
APC
understand the issues of Sierra Leone. I can talk like say that they come up from Dr. Samora. This is how you do. What he go do? What he go happen? So this is what I'm saying. Not left them friends here, see in Nigeria.
Okay, guys. Sorry for interrupt. We run out of time now. I want to say thank you very much to all Ajibu, Suleiman, Mr. Jamboria for our honorable invitation, and I believe we will continue for the talk about things them way they happen in our country. And please guys, I hope next time we invite you on our camera, because we are the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, because Shaba, we need for talk and engage more on some of them sensitive issues there. So
particularly this election.
The election, it is very important that we begin to address them things there. So moving forward, it is very necessary.
Yeah, because what Ajibu said is very, very important. Ajibu say go down, say to say the lobbying election. So we see large crowd. If you see large crowd and three people down, so APC or SNPP, that don't mean say when you see large crowd down, that means you don't win the election.
I mean nothing.
That's correct.
Nothing.
Anytime when I want me, I'm ready for come.
No, I mean this is a very good team. Okay, able to get a very substantial, discussion where. Were very educative to the people of Sierra Leone, and we need to have some of this discussion where I know they see much. I don't see this much.
Exactly.
I don't see this much coming from us, because it's as if, from my own perspective, it's as if we are more focused on the things that way the SLPP they do than focusing on the messaging. Waiting before tell the people them, energize them to go out there and cast them vote, and then we left all this grumble there. So we need to, I think we need to, focus our conversation, because because this for me is kind of a distraction, although that's something what we can discuss, but it's a whole lot of distraction coming from this government, rather than focusing on the real issue where election they come. So I think that this is a very good team that once in a while we can have this very, very educative discussion coming to the election.
Once again, Mr. Suleiman, so I'm so sorry we are wake up.
Oh no, it's okay.
Thank you.
What's up, it's always
Mr. Jamboria, thank you very much, and also my co-host. Thank you. Famulem, thank you. We wanna share we live, and also na comments them, questions them. We do appreciate you now. We will be back next weekend. We continue for David, we continue for following Egatin Shaba, and also Rachel Bangura Davis telling to Rachel. Please, one for assure and say the message the way una wants. Now get some from them platform there. Very authentic. Thank you very much.